Deanie Peters was born on September 24, 1966, to parents Mary Peets and Duane Pyle. She had one younger brother, William, and the family lived together in Bellflower, California. Deanie, as she was affectionately known, moved to Michigan with her mom and brother after her parents divorced. Mary remarried John Peters, while Duane remained in California. It took Deanie some time to settle into life in Michigan, but her family said she soon got the hang of her new home. Deanie had aspirations of one day becoming a model and attended Forest Hills Central Middle School with her brother in Ada, Michigan. It was here that Deanie was last seen alive. It was 5 p.m. on February 5, 1981. Deanie and her mother were watching 6-year-old William's wrestling practice at the middle school's gymnasium. At one point during the practice, Deanie asked her mom if she could go to use the bathroom, and her mom, of course, said yes. She then walked out of the gymnasium, and Mary resumed watching William practice. Some time had passed, and Mary was slightly concerned. Deanie wasn't back in the gymnasium, which was odd since she was supposed to be right back. It was later determined that Deanie never made it to the bathroom, but it has been theorized that she went to smoke a cigarette outside the building or visit a friend. However, neither theory has been confirmed, and what happened to Deanie after she walked out of those gymnasium doors is still unknown. Her wallet, jewelry, makeup, purse, and several $100s were still at home, untouched. This, coupled with the fact that Deanie wasn't having issues at home, meant the possibility of her being a runaway was ruled out immediately. Both law enforcement and volunteers got involved in searching for Deanie, with divers searching nearby shallow ponds and cadaver dogs being brought to places of interest. Mary and John knew public attention was critical in cases like these, so they tried to speak to the media where they could and offered a reward for any information relating to Deanie's case. Early on in the investigation, there was a suspect, the school janitor, Arthur Dias. It is unclear exactly why he was a suspect in the case, other than the fact that he had been working on the school premises when Deanie went missing. Arthur maintained he was cleaning an office and hadn't seen Deanie that evening. Investigators believed that he may have used the school incinerator to get rid of her body, but this was dismissed when they learned the incinerator was not hot enough to dispose of a body. Arthur told detectives that he had seen 3 older boys in the school that evening, one wearing a green and white Forest Hills Central jacket. They banged on the locked gymnasium doors for the wrestling practice, but Arthur didn't open them because he didn't recognize any of them. Years later, Arthur still wondered whether they were important to the case. Allegedly, he was never asked to give investigators a description or shown any mugshots to identify. Arthur also claimed to have told Deanie's mom and stepfather about the incident. The lead detective and Mary later said they didn't recall Arthur's mention of those teenage boys. Roughly a month after Deanie's disappearance, Arthur was handcuffed by authorities and made to spend the night in the Kent County Jail before testifying at a secret citizen's grand jury the following day. He ended up being cleared of all suspicions. Arthur left Forest Hills Central in 1984 to pursue construction work. No further links between him and Deanie's disappearance have ever been established. While looking into the days leading up to February 5th, investigators discovered that she had been in an altercation with 2 girls. There had been an argument over a specific boy, which led to one of the girls threatening Deanie to stay away from him. One of the girls spoke to the press once she was older and said they had no involvement in the case. It seems this was likely a typical fight among girls, but police allegedly didn't even speak to either of them. Authorities did say that there was no evidence to suggest the incident was related to Deanie's case. Other than Arthur Dias, the only real suspect was Bruce Brunch. He was 17 years old and a junior in high school when she was last seen. There is conflicting information about his potential links to Deanie. Some sources suggest a female acquaintance of Bruce came forward 20-odd years after Deanie disappeared and told police that Bruce told her a story about running over a girl at school. She said he either ran the girl over or backed into her, and buried the body on Snow Avenue under a pile of rocks. Other sources suggest this story involves a different man, claiming to have hit a girl called Deanie. Neither of these stories has ever been confirmed. Bruce passed away in 2008 after suffering a heart attack, before investigators ever questioned him. Bruce's first wife alleged he was a violent man who often drank excessively, blacking out and having no memory of the previous night. She also said he had pushed her out of a moving vehicle on one occasion, breaking her ankle in the incident. In 2011, 30 years after Deanie was last seen, investigators announced they believed Bruce Bunch was responsible for Deanie's disappearance and death. They stated that there are people in the community who still need to come forward with information that could solve the case. Due to Deanie's diary going missing while in their care, rumors have floated around about a law enforcement member being involved. This was likely due to negligence rather than on purpose, though. In 1991, Deanie's mother petitioned for a presumptive death certificate for her daughter. This was approved in January 1992, with both causes of death and place of death listed as unknown. In 1993, Deanie's case got a fresh set of eyes. This new investigator interviewed more than 50 possible witnesses and looked into multiple suspects. However, nothing conclusive came out of this, with the investigator not being about to eliminate anyone or place anyone under arrest. Deanie's case went cold again for 15 years before it was revived in 2008. From 2008 to 2012, over 200 witnesses were interviewed, and 15 potential burial sites were searched. This investigation spanned 7 states. But again, no arrests or serious persons of interest were named. In July 2021, there was a surprise arrest. James Douglas Frisbee was charged with perjury relating to Deanie's case. He was 21 years old when she disappeared, with a prior criminal record. Court documents state he has been accused of lying about information and or statements he made to police about potential suspects or witnesses. James has also been accused of willfully impeding and interfering with other witnesses in the case. James was ordered to stand trial in Kent County Circuit Court, but his attorney filed an appeal with the Michigan State Court of Appeals in 2022. This means the case is currently pending, and we will have to wait and see whether a trial even takes place. In November 2022, police applied for a search warrant to obtain Deanie's medical records from when she disappeared. This search warrant states that Deanie told a teacher she was planning to miss school for a doctor's appointment. The teacher mentioned this to the original investigators, but they never asked Deanie's parents about this. Unfortunately, these medical records no longer exist. It is unclear what role these would have played in her case or if the focus was instead on the doctor. Deanie's dental records and DNA are on file, should remains ever need to be tested. Hopefully, one day, she will get the justice she deserves, and we will know what happened that cold February evening. Deanie Peters was 14 years old when she disappeared. She was last seen wearing a pink sweater, blue Levi jeans, and a brown ski jacket. She was between 5'2" and 5'3", and weighed 110 pounds. Deanie had dark brown shoulder-length hair, brown eyes, and a birthmark on her back. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Kent County Sheriff's Office at 616-336-3113.